The wilderness and the promise. The sea had closed. Pharaoh's armies vanished beneath the waters, and Israel stood trembling on the shore of freedom. Their terror had given way to shouts of victory, voices raised in song, hearts light with hope. But for Moses, relief was fragile. He had seen the power of God, yes, but he had also seen the fear in the eyes of a people unprepared for trust. Their freedom was raw, untested. Their journey had only begun. The first trials. The desert stretched endlessly. Sand burned their feet. Sun scorched their backs. Children cried from hunger. Mothers hushed them with trembling hands. Moses watched, heart heavy, feeling the weight of every eye upon him, the weight of their doubts and complaints. "What will we drink? What will we eat?" they cried. Exodus 16:3. Moses lifted his eyes to the horizon, to the heavens. He felt the Lord's presence like a shadow, comforting yet commanding. Water flowed from bitter springs. Manna fell from the sky. Quail filled the evening air. Day after day, provision reminded him that God's faithfulness endured, even when trust faltered. Yet Moses' heart ached. Each grumble cut him, not as a leader, but as a man who had walked face to face with God. Do they not see? He wondered. Have they forgotten the sea? Mount Sinai. The mountain loomed. Smoke and fire crowned its peak. Thunder rattled the heavens. Lightning split the sky. Moses' knees trembled beneath him as he ascended, each step heavier than the last. From the cloud came a voice that shook his soul. "I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt." Exodus 22. The commandments were etched in stone, a covenant of love, law, and hope. Moses' heart swelled with awe and fear. The responsibility weighed like the mountain itself. But below, the people faltered. Restless hearts turned to idols. Gold melted, shaped, and bowed to. "These are your gods, O Israel," they cried. Moses descended, flame in his eyes, the tablets trembling in his hands. Shattering stone echoed the shattering of his heart. He wept, he raged, he pleaded with God to spare them, and with them to restore trust. Conflict had entered the camp, and Moses felt the bitter loneliness of leadership. To speak for God, yet bear the weight of human weakness alone. Wandering years, the wilderness stretched on. Each sunrise brought a new trial, each night a new sorrow. Moses watched a generation grow, some daring rebellion, others succumbing to despair. Korah's pride, the plagues, the murmuring, each a wound to his soul. And still, through every failure, God's guidance was steadfast. A cloud by day, fire by night, manna from heaven. Moses wrestled with exhaustion and doubt. Was he enough? Could a man bear the burden of guiding a people so prone to fear? Yet in quiet moments, when the wind carried the scent of desert blooms, when the fire painted the night sky, he felt God's hand upon him, whispering reassurance, calling him onward. The rock at Meribah. Even Moses faltered. At Meribah, the cries of thirsty people rose in anger. He lifted his staff, struck the rock, and water gushed forth. Relief and frustration mingled in his heart. God's words came like a sword. "Because you did not trust me enough to honor me before Israel, you will not bring this assembly into the land." Numbers 20:12. Moses' knees buckled. The man who had faced Pharaoh, who had parted seas, who had carried a nation through fear, would never enter the promised land. Grief and humility weighed upon him like chains. The passing of the torch. Time drew near its turning. Before the people, Moses laid hands upon Joshua, son of Nun. A leader had to rise where he could not go. "Be strong and courageous," he urged, his voice both trembling and steady. "The Lord himself goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." Deuteronomy 31:6. Moses' heart swelled with pride and sorrow. The mantle passed, yet he felt the emptiness of a journey ending a land glimpsed, not touched. The final ascent. Alone, Moses climbed Mount Nebo. Every step echoed years of toil, triumph, and heartbreak. At the summit, the promised land stretched before him. Green valleys, rivers glinting in the sun, hills alive with possibility. Tears blurred his vision. A lifetime of faith, struggle, obedience, and yet, his feet would never cross the Jordan. With staff in hand, he lifted his eyes. And there, he breathed his last. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in Moab, as the Lord had said. The Lord himself buried him, and no one knows his grave to this day. Deuteronomy 34:5-6. His journey ended, eyes on the promise, heart full of faith. Conclusion for us today. Moses' story is not only history. It is a mirror of our own wildernesses. We too stumble. We too grumble. We too despair. We too watch God's promises from a distance, longing for what seems just beyond reach. But the God who parted seas, who thundered on Sinai, who guided Moses through wilderness after wilderness, walks with us still. Take courage. Your trials are shaping your trust. The promised land waits green, abundant, full of hope.